All right, so I just removed the first continuous glucose monitor that I wore. I was wearing the Stelo by Dexcom model, so wasn't sure if I was gonna immediately put another one on or not, but I'm going to, just to track my habits for another 15 days. So you take it out of the package. I've already washed my arm, sanitized it. So basically you just take this, unscrew the cap. There's a little needle insert there. So then you just basically find a spot on your arm that's clean, dry, where it's gonna have a little bit of fat there. So I'm gonna do the back of my arm. Upper arm is the best area, it says on the package, to do this. So right above where I put it on before, and then you press down and press the button. Comes off on your arm. You do 3 circles around, and then you press down for 10 seconds. And then I'll go into the app and I'll pair the new monitor with my app so it can start reading the data. Pretty simple. So the sensor's pairing, and the one thing that I forgot to do was put this over patch on. So you apply that around, same thing, you just have to put it on and then kind of press down until it's on there. Then you can peel this outside patch off. This happens when you don't follow the directions and you're trying to go off memory. But all in all, first 15 days went pretty well. Definitely some things that I learned in the 15 days. More processed foods you eat, the higher my glucose spikes. The more quantity of processed foods you eat at once, the higher it spikes, the bigger the crash is. Again, if you get up and take a walk afterwards, it kind of helped disseminate some of the glucose, and I didn't have as big of a crash afterwards. Even if I was eating primarily whole foods, lots of carbohydrates at once, I would see a pretty big spike in the glucose, but there wasn't as bad of a crash. So just another reminder, off the carbs, off the couch. You need to be moving your body every day. You need to really try to limit the quantity of carbohydrates that you're eating. General rule of thumb, if you're doing CrossFit, you don't want more than 40% of your calories coming from carbohydrates, 30% from protein, 30% from fat. That's the high end, especially for like an everyday athlete. The more stuff I read, the more stuff I listen to, I would say that 40% or less for the general population. There's a lot of medical benefits for longevity purposes, trying to extend your lifespan. Trying to extend your health span to closer align with your lifespan. The lower that number of carbohydrates is, the better off you're going to be. You're going to avoid most chronic diseases that way. So again, just try to work on one habit at a time. I would tell you, first things first, start eating more protein. That will naturally help you not be as inclined to go for the other foods because you're going to be fuller longer. If you're drinking any sort of soda or flavored beverage that has added sugar in it, stop that immediately. The quicker you can get to zero there, better health outcomes. And then start making different swaps. So whether that's looking at the condiments in your fridge or your peanut butter selection, you need to be able to pronounce the ingredients. You need to look at the nutrition label and start reducing the amounts of added sugars that are in your foods. It's everywhere. You have to pay attention. Even if you get comfortable with certain brands, they get bought, they sell, so you have to periodically go back and re-look at labels. It takes time. It can be very overwhelming once you start, but you have to start somewhere. So whether it's just one thing you go and look at today, that's more than what you were doing yesterday. So take action. It's time to start fighting chronic disease. You can do it one day at a time, but the sooner you start, the better health outcomes you're going to have. So give it a shot. I'm going to probably hop back on here at some point and do a longer extended format version of this review of the Stelo glucose monitor. I'm not getting paid for this. Just experimenting, and I'll eventually go over like the graphs and stuff that I have. I'm collecting data on that. I've also been I got a glucose monitor so I can measure. I prick my finger and I've been measuring glucose level and my ketone levels. I'm going to try to start getting into ketosis just to see kind of how that feels and how my body responds. I got blood work done in December or January, one of the two, I can't remember. After some of this experimenting, I'm going to try to, that's the whole point of going into the ketosis, is to try to see if it moves the metrics in my blood work towards the well and fit categories. Further along in those, some of the metrics that I have are still in the sick category. So we'll just see lifestyle changes, what I'm putting in my mouth, how much I'm moving, and see if those move the needle in the right direction. I have a feeling that it's going to. Most of the blood work that you're looking at, they're dependent variables. So what I'm putting in my mouth, how much I'm moving, is going to move that towards the fit end of the spectrum. A lot of doctors will try to treat those as independent variables, so they'll give you a pill to put a Band-Aid on your high blood pressure, your high cholesterol, when in reality it's just lifestyle choices that it comes down to a lot of times. So the more lifestyle changes you can make, movement, what you're putting in your mouth, that's going to have the biggest impact. So again, just start moving, start reading labels, start changing your habits. Drop a comment down below. If you're not already subscribed, subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's at CrossFit Port Clinton. See you guys later.